and sign in and also get your breakfast and your coffee and breakfast such as it is. And I want to take this moment to welcome all the new families that are now able to get onto Coffee with Principal. Welcome to all of you. Yay! Just so you know, we have many opportunities for you to volunteer, and so I'm sure Fogala will talk about that after I talk about my portion of Coffee with the Principal. There's a lot to go over today, so I wanted to talk to you about a bunch of things. We're getting towards the last, believe it or not, 9 weeks of the school year.
Wow.
So it's kind of that last push. So high school parents especially, if you can encourage your students to go to office hours to make sure that they're improving their grades. We do not accept Ds here. So if they get a D or fail in their core classes, they will be taking them over again. This is for high school only in summer school. You don't accept Ds because colleges don't accept Ds. So you must have a C or above in your academic classes to maintain your academic standing here, and also to move forward to start applying for college, which some of our girls are going to be doing in a short year or so. First off, also, I wanted to thank everyone from Fogala and all the volunteers, all the teachers, all the student volunteers that came on Saturday and made it a great, great event. It's one of my favorite events of the year because it's all that great energy of new parents and new students coming in, and the students, old students, our current sixth graders, rising seventh graders are really excited to help, thank you, to help walk all the girls around and introduce them to other girls. And it was a great event. And thank you to all of you that helped make it special and a great day. Special thanks to Susan Leslie, who couldn't be there, but organized a lot behind the scenes and did a great job organizing it. So it was an easy day for us. Something's going on here. Let me check that. Okay. Also, our last meeting, we had our safety committee, and you notice that we had students, teachers, and parents on the safety committee. And I have to say, I'm really proud of everyone that yesterday we had a short lockdown. There was an incident on Rimpau, close to LA High. And so LA High went on lockdown, which meant we went on lockdown. There was never really any danger to us, but just it's safety protocol to make sure that the children are inside and safe while something's going on outside the school. And it literally was over in 10 minutes, but everybody did exactly what they were supposed to do. They took their little, things that they're supposed to put under the door. They immediately got anybody in their vicinity, the teachers, into their classrooms. It went so smoothly. I just know that if there ever is an emergency, it will be really handled well by the students, the teachers, everyone else. And I did try to get a phone call out to everyone last night. I hope you all got it, just to kind of inform you that it happened. Again, it wasn't a safety issue at all for our school, but protocol, we needed to do it and make sure that our children are safe first. And then once LIPD handles everything, then we can go, okay, well, it's all clear. So, and I think the teachers did a pretty good job in the classroom also explaining afterwards. It's hard to get the word out to the teachers while they're teaching, but we were able to kind of debrief with them. So hopefully they'll debrief again with the students today and tomorrow, just kind of say how great they did and what a great job. And just also, it's not, sometimes it's just nothing. So you don't have to be quite so fearful. So I know that they're working with them today on the fear, because, with all the incidents happening in the news, girls or students get fearful. So that's one of the things you're going to work with them today on in the advisory and in other classes, just to kind of see how they're feeling and let them know, is this going to happen? We're in a big city. Things happen. But for the most part, it's not going to be long. It'll be just something really quick. So
what's the thing under the door?
Oh, so what they do is they put a little, there's a little, the question was, what's the thing that we put under the door? It's a green or red card. If a green card goes out, it makes it easy for us as administrators. We run along, we see all the green cards, we know everybody's safe. If there's a red card, it tells us that they're not safe or something's happening in that room, like a child is sick or, that kind of thing, we can run into the room. So it's a good way of just letting us know, very quickly. Of course, we're part of the lockdown as well. So not running around too much, but at the very beginning, we're running around to make sure everybody else is safe. It's a great question. Let's see, there's a lot of things coming up soon. May, of course, is testing month. So I wanted to give you the exact dates because you want to make sure that your child is here those dates. So please don't make any appointments those days. And hopefully they're well and they've had good sleep and they've had a good breakfast. Because those are our SBAC testing, that's our state testing, as well as our advanced placement testing. So we try to make it so that the whole school is testing at once. So it'll be very quiet atmosphere and there wouldn't be like one class is not testing and the others are. So it'll be very quiet, closed door testing. So May 7th and 8th and 9th, that's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those will be the English SBAC and also some of our AP testing. And May 14th and 15th will be our math SBAC. And also more AP testing.
And that's, which ones are middle school?
SBAC is middle school.
So I'm sorry, can you just tell me the middle school
Okay.
dates?
It's 7th, 8th, and 9th,
Okay.
and 14th and 15th.
Oh.
And I'll ask someone to post that also to the website in case we forget. So this year we are testing for advanced placement, biology, chemistry, world history, and computer science. So we've got a lot of AP testing going on. Last year, we only had one. This year, because we're moving our grade level up, we have all these different APs that we're testing for. And they're at different times, but they're the same time as the SBAC testing. So again, we can have this quiet atmosphere. It's a testing week. Everybody knows it. And then if your child is absent because they're ill, we will have some makeup dates. Last year, we had 100% of our students test, and we want to do that again this year. And then we also want them to do their best. These exams do count for things like qualifying for gifted. We did have a meeting of our gifted parents that are already qualified, but we can identify other students. So normally it's the test scores for the 3 years previous. So it would be, if it's a sixth grader, it'd be 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. Having exceeds standards, and for 7th grade, it would be 5th, 6th, 7th. So these tests do count for something. Sometimes girls or students think, oh, doesn't mean anything else. It definitely counts for that, and it counts for our overall test scores. So that's one of the things that parents look at when they want to come to the schools. They want to do the best that they can do to build our school community with the best. Also for the AP testing for high school parents, every student needs to pay $5 for each test. The test is actually $95 for each test. And our Title I girls will get their test paid for, except for those $5. And then our other girls, as they can, they will pay for them. But Fogala, one of the things that I asked them for at the very beginning was, can you help us with the AP test? Because if you're a girl and you're taking 3 AP exams, that's $300 basically. And a lot of our girls can't afford that. So thank you to Fogala for making that difference between the $5 and the $95 for those girls that we have to pay for and that can't pay for it themselves. I really appreciate it. It's one of those barriers that we want to try to break down. So I'm really grateful for that. So the high school students, the $5 should go to Ms. Cephas for each exam as soon as you can get it to her. And Ms. Chen will also talk to any high school students that have questions about the exams. And while we're on the topic of Ms. Chen and our counseling department, we are finding out more and more internships and summer experiences. She's trying to upload those onto her page on the website. Also, all the high school teachers are uploading those opportunities onto their Schoology accounts. So those are places to check for things. Right now, I think we've got about 5 or 6 students that are taking a Santa Monica College internship program in film and media for high school, and that's going to be kind of a cool experience for them. And we're going to hear more about the City of LA paid internships that are hopefully coming for some of our 10th graders. That's coming soon, so keep in touch. If you're a high school parent, you're interested in any of these internships, please keep in touch with Ms. Chen. She now has office hours Tuesdays and Thursdays at lunch and Wednesdays after school. So if you wanted to reach her or you wanted to have your daughter come in and talk to her, those are 3 times that she's available to them exclusively. She's not doing anything else. So Fall programming is going to be coming soon. We are changing some of our options for 7th period. So your daughters will have an opportunity to hear about those. And then I'll be talking to 7th grade, rising 8th grade. So scary. That's our first group of 6th graders is almost going to be in 8th grade this year, next year. We'll be talking to the parents this Thursday after the parent conferences from 5 to 6 about their pathways into high school. I realize in all the tours I give and all the talks I have with high school students, I haven't reached down into the middle school to kind of let you know all the amazing options that we have here for high school. So I talked to some of the girls yesterday, about half the 7th grade girls yesterday. I'll try to talk to the other half today about some of the great options they have for high school here that they might not even be aware of. So one of the things I talked to them about yesterday that they were super excited about is biomedical technology. Biomedical technology is kind of the leading edge of medicine. It's a combination of medicine and computers and using computer technology to enhance medicine. And we're one of 3 schools in the Southern California region that are offering the class in conjunction with the UCLA School of Anesthesiology.
Wow.
So it's really exciting. And the School of Anesthesiology is going to come in and work with the girls beforehand in 9th grade to kind of show them what they'll be doing in the biomedical technology class. So that's one thing that we have that a lot of girls didn't know about. The other thing is we have this class called AP Capstone. AP Capstone, there's only, I think, 7 high schools in LA Unified offering it. And what it is basically a research project. So all the integrated projects we're doing is leading them to that class. For the rising 8th graders going into 9th grade, that will be a mandatory class. So everyone will have an experience of doing a senior project. It may be that they do it by themselves or they may do a group project, but they will be learning how to research on college level research and learning how to do all the things they need to do validated research. And then in their senior year, they'll actually write a paper. It will be kind of like, typically it's done as a senior college project, a senior college paper. So going into college, they will already have done the papers that people do as seniors in college. So it's really, really great for them to be prepared, but it's also just a great experience, I think, to have for anyone to do their own individual research. And what we're going to try to do is combine some of our amazing industry contacts with the girls so they can actually do some original research. So whether that's developing an app or doing some kind of research in an area, a field that they're interested in, veterinary medicine or whatever it is that they're interested in, that we can combine them so they can have that experience of actually talking to someone in the field and working with them.
What grade level did you say?
11th and 12th, yeah. So those are just some of the options, but I will be talking, like I said, to the rising 8th grade parents. And if anyone else wants to come to that meeting, it'll be from 5 to 6 on Thursday so that you're kind of aware of what are some of these things that are happening in high school. When it came up yesterday in the meeting with the 7th graders, the students, they were like, why do they get so many field trips and we don't get so many? It's like, I understand it's kind of unfair, but the colleges want to see high school students. Although they're happy to have middle school students come, they are starting to recruit our high school students already. So they want them to come to their campus. They want them to feel comfortable. So USC, UCLA, Harvey Med, all these campuses are inviting us to come to activities at the campus, and they're purposeful. They want them to come. And then a lot of the the companies are saying we need women particularly, and we need women of color particularly. And if we get them in high school, maybe they'll think about us when they come out of college. So that's kind of why, like the Google, field trips or the Two-Bit Circus field trips, those are pretty much high school. So that the industry is kind of reaching into the high schools because they're finding that by the time they get college graduates, it's too late. So they're trying to reach into the high schools, move them along to college. I'm hoping that there'll be some more scholarships coming for the girls. So it's kind of purposeful that happens in high school. In the middle school, we do as many as we can. But and I did remind the girls that I was a high school teacher for 18 years, and we were lucky if we got 1 field trip per year. So the fact that they're getting 4 or 5 is kind of unheard of even in middle school, and in high school they're getting 7 or 8. So it's not, we want them to get out there. It's something important for us. And then a reminder that parent conferences are from 3:30 to 5 this Thursday. They're short 5-minute just check-ins with the teachers, and it's really for those girls that are not doing so well in the class and want to have that final push in the next 8 weeks or 9 weeks to improve their grade, improve their understanding of the standards. So if your child's doing okay in the class, I would recommend that you just email. And then if you want to have a face-to-face with the teacher, take the time to sign up for the conferences. Just like we've always done before, there'll be a clipboard on the teacher's door, and you can sign up for 5-minute increments between 3:30 and 5. And then again, the 5 o'clock meeting will be in here in 501 for the Rising 8th grade.
Are there any teachers that won't be there? Because some days that are.
Yeah, I'll check. The question was, are there many teachers that are not there? We have 2 teachers right now that are working on their master's degrees, and sometimes their course conflicts with the time that we do these things, in which case, again, you can do a sign up and they will contact you. But I don't know for sure, and that's a great question. I'll try to find that
Just
out.
because
for
I
you.
have to get my running shoes on to go from class to class. I want to strategize.
All right, which class to go to?
Yeah,
So I will
exactly.
definitely
Go
have that, and
to
also
the
we'll do a sign in at the front, and we'll make sure that that's listed, and we'll have the sign ins there for those people that won't be able to be there. I think most of those teachers have Thursday classes, so I think we're okay with the Wednesday, but I'll definitely check. And speaking of teachers, glad you brought that up. We are excited that we're doing our trying to hire more teachers for next year. As we grow, we get to hire more teachers. So we've already hired a new English, a new history, and the third one, a new science teacher. So really excited, great teachers, and very energetic and excited about being here. Like, we called them and they were just like going crazy when they found out they got hired. So I'm really happy to have those 3 new teachers, and we are now still hiring for math, music, which we're hoping to have a full-time music teacher next year, foreign language, and I think that's it. I think those are the other 3 positions dance PE. So Miss Tell has let us know that her illness is so severe that she is probably not going to come back to teaching, period.
Oh,
I know. Miss Tell is not going to come back to probably teaching, period, because her illness is so severe. So yeah, I know. So we are looking for a dance PE teacher as well. So yeah, I think the girls were told that. In fact, I told the girls that a couple weeks ago. So a big loss to our community, because she's such an amazing educator and human being. So help us look for someone who can try to half fill her shoes, because we would really like to just develop our dance program. It was starting to get to the point to be this amazing dance program, but we really want it to develop over time, so that girls have option of PE or dance. And just on that subject, we are adding in 2 more CIF sports next year. So this year we started with our very first year of CIF sports, and very successful, great experience for the girls. We did tennis, basketball, and swim. We're still in the middle of our swim season. And next year we're going to add in the fall cross country. Some of the girls they're still going to do the Students Run LA, because that's a middle school thing, but they can come into the cross country in high school. So we decided to do that. And lacrosse in spring. Wow. So it's a very unusual sport for Southern California, but it's a great sport to have for girls who want to get scholarships, particularly for Ivy League colleges. So we thought we'd add that in. We have a teacher that has played lacrosse and is really anxious to coach. So Miss Kelty is going to coach the lacrosse. She's moving from tennis to lacrosse. So we are going to need a tennis coach if you have any recommendations. So yeah. And then I know the girls were disappointed that we couldn't offer soccer yet, but I told them probably the following year, because as we grow in the amounts of students in the high school, we can have the larger sports that need more students. So soccer and baseball are kind of on our horizon, as well as volleyball. So we're kind of doing we check with the high school students coming in, like what sport would be one that you would play, and then we from there. So also for next year, we're trying to bring in American Sign Language as an after-school West LA college class that we could reach down into probably 8th and maybe even 7th for. It is a college class, and so it's very intense. But if your daughters are super interested in taking that class, and that it would count for their foreign language in high school, we'll hopefully let you know about that. They don't start right at the beginning of school, so there's time for them to make a decision about that. It'll be after school twice a week. Right now, our high school students took art history last semester, and they're taking drawing this semester. So, question.
On the sign language requirement, are you saying that one school year of 2 days after school completes their entire language requirement?
I believe so. So that first semester, because it's a college class, counts for a year. It's an intense class. It counts for a year. And the second semester counts for another year.
So in theory, by the time, if I have a middle schooler, if they take that class, they're out of middle school, they have time to put in other topics.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of our purpose, is that if they take care of that in 8th grade, for instance, they do it for the whole year. Then when they come to 9th grade, they won't have to take language other than English. They've had that requirement handled. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to.
Are the sports only for high school students?
Yeah, they're only for high school. They're CIF, so they're California Interscholastic Federation, which only takes 9th grade out. But that's also a good, when you've been in that sport for several years, it's a good recruiting tool for colleges. So there's certain, if you're a really top athlete, NCAA rules account for you. So if you're in CIF varsity, you can be recruited sometimes from Division I schools if you're that great of an athlete, which I got to tell you, we were going to have some, because, you know, some of the girls in basketball, for instance, this year, had an amazing coach. And they had someone who never played before, and they came together as a team in just a way I've never seen for kids that had never played an organized sport before. Next year, we're going to have JV and varsity. So those that are really, really great, you know, greatly skilled will go into varsity. The other ones will stay in JV, and then we'll have room for more. But we're starting to develop like the different levels of sports. So I know for middle school, it's like, oh, we don't have anything. Well, we do have the Beyond the Bell, which is actually competitive with other schools. A couple of times they do conferences, so a couple of times a year for each sport. And then we have the Soccer-Wise program. That's the Pay for Pay program. And they also compete.
Is there talk about a lunchtime 8th grade sport activity next year?
The question was, is there talk for a lunchtime sport activity next year? I hope we're going to have a lot more activities next year, both at lunch and after school. We're you know, looking at, for instance, dances and some other things that we haven't had up until now. But now that we have more students, we can do that. In terms of the lunchtime sports, it's going to be a matter of organizing that and having the time to organize it, and the personnel. So I think we can definitely do that. A lot of schools do intramural sports like that at lunchtime. So we'll look into it. You know, we do need personnel to do it, and our teachers are stretched to the gill right now with the things they're doing. So we'll, you know, if there is a teacher, especially any of the new ones coming in, that want to organize that, we can certainly look at that.
What are, going back to the language requirement, will there be other languages besides Spanish offered?
So good question. The question was talking about the language requirement. So language requirement for high school and college entrance is minimum 2 years of the same language other than English. So there are some girls, for instance, that are taking Korean or Hebrew or Japanese on their own. Those, even though they might be quite proficient in that, that doesn't count unless they're taking a high school class or a college class. But if they're pretty proficient, they could take a college class. And those, unfortunately, we won't offer here necessarily, but you could do in a summer at a Santa Monica or West LA or LACC, or after school, but not on our campus. Because in order for us to have a class on our campus, we have to have at least 25 girls enrolled.
Okay, so that won't be part of the curriculum.
Right. So right now it'll be Spanish and hopefully American Sign Language.
Okay, and the Spanish that's happening now in middle school, does that count?
Yes, it does. It does. So anybody who's in Spanish 1 right now in middle school, they're going to take Spanish 2 next year, and they'll be done with their requirement.
Can a middle schooler take a foreign language in college course? And will that count?
Okay, so the question was, what can a middle schooler take a college course? College course in a language, and will that count? Yes, absolutely. But the parent has to take them to the college to enroll them because obviously they're a minor. And you have to think about what college you're going to and what the classes look like, that kind of thing. But it does count. But remember, also that counts as their college transcript. Yeah. So if they're not going to be really motivated and really do the work and really do well, you don't really necessarily want that as part of their college transcript. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. I had a couple people who asked me if they could take the drawing class this year. I said, it's absolutely fine, but remember, it's part of their transcript. So you might want to wait till they're in high school and they're a little more mature and they have more time to spend on just devoting time to those classes. Because remember, they're college classes. So.
So the middle schoolers that are doing Spanish, the 2 years of high school Spanish in middle school, what happens if they move on to Gala High School? Are they continuing?
Okay, good question. So the question is, if they're in Spanish 1 and 2 in middle school at Gala, when they go into high school, they have the option of going straight into an AP Spanish language and then an AP Spanish literature.
Or not?
Or not. They would be done with their requirement, their basic requirement. Now, a lot of colleges want more than 2 years. However, because of the level of classes they're taking here, in terms of the computer science, the math, and the science, they're way, way above any minimal requirements. They're not going to look at the language as a negative. They're going to go, oh, they're taking AP Physics, and they're taking, they're taking all these classes that most students don't have a chance to take, and it's such high level that if they don't have a third year foreign language, it's not going to be a huge deal. I would look, if there's certain colleges that they are really set on already in middle school, which there's some, then I would look at their website for their requirements. Because a few require 3 years, but most it's 2, for the most part. It's 2. But just so you had that in the back of your mind.
I'm just wondering, just sort of overall, since it is a new school, so now you've had 2 6th grade years. This was the first 7th grade, being a 7th grade mom. What would be your kind of like wrap up in terms of when you look at the 7th grade year, like things that work, things that didn't, things that I know I'm going to do next year differently for some, I don't know. I mean, obviously you're on a huge learning curve. So I just don't know if you have some observations
That
generally.
was such a great question. So the question was, as a new school, as we're moving forward, what are things that we've learned and that we're changing and moving forward with, we would change? And I could tell you a vast array, but I want to tell you that every semester we sit as a faculty and do that. We do, what are the things we want to stop doing? What are the things we want to start doing? And what are the things we want to continue doing? And we make lists and we discuss them, and every single semester we make huge changes to different things that we're doing. So an example would be, we learned a lot last year about the accelerated math. This year it's an option, just like we have an option for AP Bio or AP Chemistry. So typically, last year we did an invitation. This year it's just like we do in the high school. We don't put any barriers in the way. If you want to try it, and if you want to work really hard and you want to be part of it, you can do that. And I've met with the parents and then many of the students, actually all the students, about that. So that would be one of the examples of things we've learned to do differently, because our philosophy at the school is different. And so we kind of went back and went, wait a minute, if we're saying any student can take AP if they just are willing to do the hard work and they know what's required, then why aren't we doing that with accelerated math? And also, why aren't we getting the word out that accelerated means fast, not honors? So accelerated is you can do the math really quickly. You love math. You don't mind struggling with the math. You don't mind putting in the hard work. Then you should be part of accelerated. It's not an honors option. It's an accelerated. So it's fast paced. So I've gone to almost all. I have one class still to go to of the 7th graders, and had that discussion with them. Like, choose it if you're willing, if A, you like math, B, you're an independent learner. You can learn by yourself. You don't need the teacher to be constantly working with you. that you can go to the teacher if you're having problems, that you can go to your parents and say, I'm having problems. And then that you're willing to do the hard work. And it's fast paced. Next year, there will not be 2 periods. That was the other thing we learned. It'll be 1 period. So they really are going to be in a fast pace. So those are the kinds of things that we learned. And thanks for asking that. That's something we continually are trying to change and make better. And there's a lot of things that we're changing. And, you know, any input you want to have at any point, I'm welcome to hearing, because I would just want, I think it's an amazing, great school, but I want it to be just even better than that. And so having the parent input, the student input is all really important to me, and especially the teacher input. And like I said, we spend a day every single, and we have that pupil-free day. That's part of what we're doing. We're just really examining what went well, what didn't go so well, what things do we want to start. You know, a lot of what's come up is more activities like dances, so we're going to add that in. There's a lot of different things that have come forward. So again, any input for me, please email me. Calling is not so good because I'm running around in the classrooms, but email me, and I'm happy to take any input you have, because that's what makes the school great, is we have all the parents involved, we have the students involved, and they know that I will listen and get their input. Let's see if there's anything else I want to make sure I went over today.
You had mentioned earlier in conversation, say like Spanish, for instance, next year, because a lot of students that are in 7th grade have the opportunity to take Spanish 1, but we're trying to make room for high school students that are coming in that did not get the opportunity to take Spanish, so spacing will be limited, but you want to make sure that kids have the option of taking Spanish 1 and 2 back to back. So you wouldn't necessarily have, say, a 7th grader and then not enough room, and they wouldn't be able to take it till, say, freshman year. So with that said, are you going to limit the amount of people that will be able to go in, say, next year for 7th grade? So if you wanted the option, because the 7th graders now that took it will obviously be able to get into Spanish 2 for 8th grade, and they'll get that out of the way. But are you finding that you're now going to have less spots for, say, the incoming 7th graders?
Okay, so the question is, it's something I'd mentioned before, for the Spanish line, like what's the priority? Because we have now, we'll have, let's see, about a little bit less than 200 students in our high school coming in. I mean, coming in will be at least 80 to 90 students in 9th grade. So the priority is high school for the Spanish classes on our campus, high school, and the girls that started this year to get their 2nd year. That's kind of our 2 priorities, but there'll probably still be room, because some of the girls coming in have already taken their 2 years already, or they've taken 1 year and they just need to take the 2nd year. So then the current 6th graders that are going to 7th grade would have more openings for the Spanish 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But probably not the whole grade. So we're doing our preference sheets, and they're going to have a choice between Spanish and music. And we don't know, we haven't hired our music teacher, so we don't know, is that choral? Is it instrumental? Is it both? So yeah, so those are going to be their choices once we know that for sure. And then we'll also, they'll be doing preference sheets in the next, probably towards the end of May. They'll do a preference sheet for what they want for next year. And for 7th grade, rising 6th graders coming into 7th grade, it's really the Spanish music, the accelerated math, and then their 7th period elective. So they'll have 3 major choices. Everything else is standard. Everybody has the same thing.
Just a detail on that topic. 1 Spanish teacher, yes, and 1 class for 7th grade Spanish 1. There would be 1.
Oh, so the question
class
is there
occurs.
1 class for 7th grade Spanish 1? We haven't determined that yet,
Okay.
because it depends on the girls coming in. So depending on what they need, depends on how many Spanish 1s we have, how many Spanish 2s, how many, yeah. And then we'll also have, like I said, the after school American Sign Language class. So some of our high school students who haven't taken a language at all might choose to do that.
That
So-
Spanish 1 class could be mixed too, right?
Oh yeah, it's mixed this year. It's mixed grade levels this year. Yeah, and it could be mixed grade levels. It's because we're such a small school with so few teachers. There are some classes that are mixed grade levels, particularly with the 7th period, and then with the Spanish and probably music. There's going to be some mixed grade levels.
So for the music classes that we're having, if it is instrumental, is that something that we would have to do fundraising for the instruments, or?
So let's get to that once we know. The question was, do we are going to need to fundraise for instruments? I'm like, let's just wait until we hire someone and see what their expertise is, and then.
Spoons playing. No, not a little too far.
So we'll worry about that when we get there, and I'm hoping whoever we hire in will already have some resources that we can use. There's a lot of rental resources we can use and other things, so we'll work on that when we get there.
That was a question a lot of incoming families had, was the type of music it was gonna be, so we don't, like, it could
We
be.
don't know what kind of music we'll have because it depends on who we hire.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just getting resumes. We haven't interviewed at all, and so
Because one of the high focus to get a teacher that has instrumental.
Both.
Instrument.
yeah, we really want to have both. Someone who has both. It's two different credentials, so or slightly different credentials. So instrumental and choral music is really important. We already have that whole group of girls that's really interested in choir. So yeah, so it's coming.
I just have a question about this A and B, the schedule, you know, the changes. Has that been evaluated in terms of?
That won't change. The question was our schedule. That's not going to change. It's part of our school plan. So it will stay the A-Day, B-Day with the long periods and the 7th period ending at the bottom, the advisory at the top. So that's not something that will change. It's something that's working really well for all our students, so you can see, and then also our teachers. By the way, the Bell schedule is a contract UTLA decision. It's not a parent decision, and it's not a student decision. It's a teacher decision. So
Yeah,
our teachers are really happy with the Bell schedule. It works really well for all of them. So that's not something we're going to change anytime soon.
I was just saying that in terms of what's the benefit of having like A day, B day. They have to,
What's the benefit of the A-Day, B-Day is it's not the A-Day, B-Day. It's the hour and a half of instruction time. If you go to schools where it's 50 minutes and you're doing a lab, you don't have time to do labs. So it eliminates all science labs. So an hour and a half of instruction allows a science teacher, which we are a STEM school, to do all. If you notice, our curriculum in science is very lab heavy, which is purposeful because that's what you do in the field. They do labs at least twice a week. They're constantly doing labs. Those teachers are working really hard, but they can't set up a lab, do instruction, have the lab go in place, and then clean up in 50 minutes. It's absolutely impossible.
Alternate the days like that, like, you know.
It's not about the alternating of days. It's the hour and a half of instructional time. The only way to do that is to have an A-Day, B-Day schedule. There's no other way to really do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about an hour and a half instruction. Any other questions? Because I know that you guys need to start your Fogala meeting. Oh, okay. There's a question from the field. Okay, Friday is a shortened day. It's not a minimum day. Minimum day would be at 12:30. It's a shortened day, so students will get out at 2. There is one, I think it's the Mathletes class that actually is going to continue their 7th grade class because we have Girls Build VR coming in. So Girls Build VR is coming twice a week to our 7th period Mathletes class to teach them how to do VR films. So really exciting. And so that will probably continue. Miss Nieves will send out an email to those students. And other than that, everybody gets out at 2. We have, so we'll have supervision. Beyond the Bell will be here till 6, as it usually is. So no issue if you can't pick up your daughter till later.
Is that a color for sure means 2:15?
Acapella, I think we were trying to move it earlier, but I don't know that it's going to be.
That's confirmed.
Oh, it's confirmed? Okay, 2:15 tomorrow, so not for acapella. And then the other things I want to just put you on notice for is April 20th, our Earth Day celebration. Our girls are putting together a really great Earth Day celebration at lunchtime. We'll have a little extended lunch for them to do that. Also on that day, we have Paramount volunteers coming to do some more gardening for us and some cleaning up. And then the 26th and the 27th after school is our Shakespeare performance from our Shakespeare class. I'm really excited about that. And then any other questions before I move on and allow Fogala to come in? Yes.
My only question is, there's a couple rumors going around about yesterday's lockdown. Is it possible to dispel any things, or do you have more facts to give us?
I just went over it at the beginning of the meeting.
I know I
Yeah.
heard it, but my daughter and her friends are talking about guns and knives on the corner
Oh,
of Olympic
gosh,
and Ripon
no.
being brought onto campus, so that
Oh
could
gosh,
be dispelled. I'd
no,
love for it
no,
to
no,
be
no, no, no,
dispelled.
no. It was just an altercation
Okay.
between some adults off campus, but it was not, there were
No weapons.
No weapons
Okay, good.
involved.
That's
no.
what I was hoping.
Okay. Yes, you can
Thank
dispel
you.
that rumor. No
Thank you.
weapons involved. It's so funny how I love them, but their imaginations kind of
I
go
know.
wild, and then one person says, "I think," and it becomes like what's that game you play where you
Telephone, yes.
Yeah. So yes, dispel that. No weapons
you.
involved, and LAPD was there, and it was
I figured.
it was just one of those unfortunate adult arguments that went way too far. Yeah. So yes, no weapons involved.
Well, that I know, but I
Yes.
just, the altercation could have involved like,
Oh, I
you know what I mean?
Don't worry
Thank
about
you.
that. Yeah. Any other? Yes.
I have a short question, you probably can't answer this now. Do you know, is there any discussion about the start time of the school year next year? Just
Oh, great
curious.
question. So the question is, what about the start time next year? We are dependent on LA High schedule. They are working on their schedule. They're probably making some changes. So as soon as we know their schedule, we might make changes to ours. Because our first year, we started at 7:30 and went to 3:30, which in terms of drop off and pickup worked a lot better. And so we'll discuss that once we hear what LA High's schedule is. Because this year it's just that 15 minutes makes a huge difference in terms of traffic. And I know that's been an issue and a subject for a lot of people. So our big, what we look at the most when we're doing our schedule, our bell schedule, is to make sure that there's not a lot of crossover and that our lunch is clean with no overlap with the LA High lunch. So we pretty much have that whole lunch area ourselves, which as we get larger, we're going to need more of that lunch area. And then on rainy days now, we can be in the cafeteria, but those last 2 days that we had rainy days, we had so many girls that we couldn't even fit in there. So we had to even go outside the cafeteria. So next year, when we add in the extra 200 girls, well, yeah, it would probably be best if we can do a later start and a later pickup. But we'll look into once they have their schedule, we'll know more.
So you meant 8:30, right? Not 7:30.
Oh, 8:30, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, yes. No, not 7:30, yeah. No. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then it was 9:30 to 3:30 on the days, which was good, yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. I'm a new family. My daughter will be 6th grade next year. And on the day of registration on Saturday, somebody said when they do their homework, they have to have a tablet. The question is it going to be their own or the school provide, or how does it work?
Oh, someone
Something
told you
about-
incorrectly.
No,
So
something
the
about
question was that incoming families, do you need a tablet or a computer? Absolutely not. Yes, it's always helpful if you have something like that at home. But here we are going to have Chromebooks for the girls to use. So any work that they do in class, they can do. Our 6th grade will be using them in class, and then if we have enough computers, our 7th through 12th will be taking them home. So they'll be issued out a Chromebook to them. Yeah, but 6th grade, just because every lunch I pick up, lunch boxes, sweatshirts, T-shirts, notebooks, everything, and it's predominantly 6th grade that leaves them out there, and issuing out a $250 Chromebook to them, it's just a little liability issue with that. So they're going to keep them in their classrooms, but the 7th grade and up will probably have them issued out to them.
Okay.
So great question. Yeah, so you don't need to buy anything special on your own at all.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I don't know how that's another one of those room things. Okay. Any other questions for those new parents that are just coming on board? Please email me. I'm happy to answer. And I've already got a bunch of questions, and I love answering those questions and letting you know. So it does take me a little bit because I do get a lot of emails, but you'll get within about 24, 48 hours an answer. Okay, well, thank you so much. And then I'm going to turn it over to Fogala. Oh my gosh, look at those shoes. That's great. Here's Fogella.
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. So the first item that we're going to discuss is Chromebooks and covers. So we are looking at needing a few more Chromebooks, more than the one-on-one, so that each kid can have their own Chromebook in a class. The thought is that when they go to some of the classrooms, they have more students in that class and maybe fewer in another. And so the students, so they are not running from one class to another still to get a Chromebook. They need more than one-on-one Chromebooks. So we are waiting for numbers so that we can hopefully afford to purchase all those Chromebooks and have one-on-one. We will also be fundraising next year for next year's incoming students as well. So that's an ongoing process. Multicultural Fair, May 22nd. That's headed by Adrian and Rosabelle. Rosabelle is here. She's going to give us a few words.
Go, ma'am.
Surprise! Hello, my name is Rosabelle Ruiz, and I will be leading with Adrian. Our efforts is going to be for May 22nd. So we need lots and lots of help. It's going to be run like a fair. We don't have a lot of time. It's going to be 40 minutes and extended lunchtime. So it'll be 11:55 to 12:40. And I know a lot of parents have been asking that they can't come to the meetings during lunchtime, but you can help out a lot, actually. So what we want to do is we wanted to get the girls here during lunchtime, but it's a little difficult because a lot of them really want their free time to be able to eat their lunch and talk to their friends and socialize. So we would like to encourage you, if you would like your culture or country represented, we would really love to have all of the parents that are interested to encourage your kids to please come to Thursday meetings. And they can give you the information that we talk about. Last Thursday, we only had 7 girls, unfortunately, here. So we wanted to pick out a selection of countries that represented our schools, our school girls here, our community. But with 7 girls, we didn't have a lot of input, and they were kind of guessing. So I don't know if it's best to maybe do a survey with the parents to see what parents really want to be involved with it. And from there on, we can really, what we want to do is we want to have a trifold for each station. We want to have at least 13 countries represented. And within those 13 countries, we want to have one parent that's going to be helping the students, which each country. And then we want to have at least 2 students working on it. So some of the research we're going to do is it's going to be basic, we're going to talk about, we really want to make sure that we incorporate one female role model per country, preferably STEM. But if it's not STEM, someone that's a role model that's done great things in their country or have not been acknowledged for what they've done, or to bring to light to someone so that they can be recognized and they can feel that their own culture is represented and that they have strong women in their own cultures as well. So we think that that's really important. And then the rest of it would be learning information about their culture, about their customs, their food. So if parents want to really help out, they can help out with food. That's definitely a big plus. Since we only have 40 minutes for it, we're not going to be able to spend a lot of time doing it. So if we have little maybe bite size of kids can try it out. And also for allergy reasons, we would really like it if the food can have a label where it says all the ingredients, so that if a child is allergic, they'll know what exactly is in the ingredients, so that that'll cause any problems that can be done. The other thing too is parents, we are going to try to have a sponsor if possible. Susan had a great idea to reach out to maybe Ancestry.com or one of those to see if maybe they want to. But if they don't, then we are going to be needing 13 canopies, 13 tables. We're going to be needing food. And if there is no food for that table, we would like some kind of project, like an art project. Or maybe if one of the girls wants to do like a 2-minute, display of a performance art, they can do that as well. Or if they want to wear like their traditional traditional outfits, that would be really great as well. Okay, so thank you so much. And then Kendra is going to be doing a Zoom call because I don't know how to do that, and also Sign Up Genius so that we can sign up. We also want to do passports is the other thing too. So we're going to create passports where the girls will be able to go around all the different areas, and we want them to write 2 facts about each country.
Will parents be able to be on campus participating, or are we just dropping off and allowing our girls to? I mean, I was thinking of as far as the costume, like I think I would need to be here to make all that happen, and is that okay?
Yeah, definitely,
Okay.
yes. So during the day of, we want to do is, we had planned out to have like maybe everything set up. So the girls can be working on the trifolds during the Thursday meetings. That's pretty much what they're going to be doing. So they're going to be doing the research at home. They're going to be bringing it back, and they're going to do the art here at school in room 501 on Thursdays. And then the day of, we're going to need parents in the morning time to help set up, because that's going to be a lot of setting up 13 tables. And then it's just the extended lunchtime that we have, and then we have to break it down. So we are definitely going to need parent volunteers during that.
Write her name down.
All right, I'm good.
Ms. Brown's geography class, she does something like that in terms of
the pop-up museum.
Yeah, the pop-up museum where she does, they can dress in their attire for that area and things like that.
So maybe I'll talk to her and see if maybe she knows some students already.
Might have some, yeah.
Thank you.
Just
What the tables?
Way in advance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you. Did a good job. You want to do this? Want to do the next one? Teacher Appreciation Day is May 4th. We still need somebody to sign up and help get that started and get. Sorry.
May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th.
Not that no, it's not a huge job. It's just bringing lunch and decorating.
Thank you. It's not a big job. It's just a lot of decorating and maybe just organizing maybe a luncheon or a breakfast or something special for the teachers. So it's not as involved as some of the other things that we've done, but it's something that has a huge impact. So if you have some time, it's Teacher Appreciation Day on May 4th.
Yeah, I do the whole week at the elementary. That's one of my jobs.
So this would be nothing to you.
So this would be nothing to me because I'm already getting like the freebie stuff from Whole Foods. I'm already making those connections. So tell me again what time, or you can tell me afterwards. Or whatever.
Sure.
Okay.
May 4th, and we'll talk. Yay! Thank you.
Wow, I'm glad you appreciate it. My children don't do it enough.
You'll get it here. Keep coming back.
I'll tell my husband. People love me here.
It's true. This is where I feel the most fun. Just so you know. Once I walk off the campus, it's very sad. Next item, last day picnic. That's June 7th. We still need parent volunteers. Nobody has signed up for that one also. So time to get on board. It's time to send that email. A Sign Up Genius will be sent out. And if you're interested and you really know, hey, this is really what I want to do, you can also email myself, veronicak5590@gmail.com. And we'll get you started. We'll get you rolling. And that would entail, well, actually it would be up to the person to organize it. We can talk about it.
In the past, where has it been?
Queen Anne.
Queen Anne Park. In the past, that's where it's
We
been,
walked
and that's
down
where it will be. Okay. And another item, new parent welcome, 6th grade parents. That's going to be on May 12th. Monica will be in charge of that. She's going to come up and have a few words. Thank you, Monica.
Hello, everyone. So a little bit about the new parent picnic. This is a tradition that we would like to start here at Gala, having the current 6th grade parents host a welcome picnic for the incoming 6th grade families. And so this year we're doing a food truck carnival status, where we're working very feverishly on getting hopefully an In-N-Out truck and a vegan option for those who don't eat meat, and then Happy Ice as our dessert, because that will go on both sides. It's just ice, colored ice with a little sugar. So everyone should be a part of that. But we're really looking for our parent body to use this as an opportunity for you to get connected with your future carpool buddies, for you to get connected with future communities, to sign up for a committee, to join in some of the fun that we're going to have as a parent body next year, and to really kind of solidify us as a community, showing everyone that we are a community. It's not just a bunch of parents dropping off kids and schlepping stuff from left to right, but that you have support in a community of women and men who love their daughters and who want to support their daughter's education. And I know you are one of them. And so this is going to be an event that you want to attend and you want to volunteer for. So we're looking for the 9th grade and the 6th grade parents to be leads in this, in the volunteer efforts. But if you don't know what to do, I'm the person that you would talk to. So my phone number is, and I don't do this very often, but my phone number is 323-207-6465. Send me a text saying I am in. How can I help? And I would love to have you. We're doing music, and we're having lawn games, and we're having a parent club where no kids are allowed, so that parents can mingle without children. It's going to be really fun to like exclude our children from something. And I wish if we weren't on next year, we'll plan it off campus so we can have cocktails. And then I'm looking to have a meeting for this previous that will have cocktails at a local establishment so that we can talk more in depth. So again, Monica Henderson, send me a text, 323-207-6465, or you can send more or send an email to president@fogala.org. Yes. Yes.
So is that for the whole grade?
All of the school is welcome to attend.
Okay.
Okay, so the question is, who's this for? All of the school. Okay, all of the school is welcome to attend, but we are looking for the 6th grade and the 9th grade parents to be a part of the leadership in making this happen. So it's really reflecting on our class on how this comes well. So if we're a dynamic class, then we will show up and we will make it an awesome event. And we want to show the next class how it's done so that they can try to up us, but they won't because we're that fabulous. Yes.
Monica, loving your spirit on this. Could I piggyback, or tell me if you think it's appropriate, or consider this? I've gotten some feedback from other 6th grade parents on the precious occasion where I've met someone and interacted, and I heard from them. I brought up that the 6th grade would love. These parents are saying, I really miss that like community thing that was going on in my smaller little world of elementary, that maybe wasn't so much of a community setting. So could it be messaged possibly that this is a mixer for all of us in 6th grade to really sort of make that more of a show up for it and kind of make that part of the day? Absolutely. I don't want to take away from what it really is supposed to be, but I'm also thinking it's going to get really busy if we try to do this 6th grade mixer thing also at the end of school, which some of these parents were saying, like, couldn't we have that? So
this would be that opportunity. So we can overlap it all on a Saturday.
Yeah. So if we messaged it that way or advertised it that way, that would be awesome.
It's really just an opportunity for all of the school community to come together, like all of the families, because registration day is a really fun day, especially just having worked one recently. And it's a really fun experience, but it kind of is sad that you don't get to see the full body of parents of the families actually come together. So the picnic will be that opportunity for like all of the school to come together, but we're just really, the 6th grade parents are having an opportunity to come together to host it. Yeah. And 9th grade too. Don't forget 9th grade, high school, we need you. Yes. Okay. Any other questions? It's okay. So we've ran out of time. I got to turn it back over. Bye.
No, time frame.
Oh, time frame. So the date is May 12th. The time I was looking for midday, so I was thinking like 12:30 to like 2:30, just because maybe we'll miss a little of the sun, but that will need lots of canopies and tents, and we'll inviting everybody to bring blankets and picnic blankets and chairs, and it's really just a day to like chill out and enjoy each other. So it should be easy. It should be an easy event to be a part of. Okay, super, super easy. If you haven't volunteered yet, this is your time. You should volunteer for this one. It's gonna be easy. If you've ever done a picnic, if you've ever had people over at your house, if you've ever done anything in your backyard, you can do this. Super easy. Okay, so just please let me know. Any other questions? No?
Awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Monica. So that's all we have, except a really great announcement. That said, President at Fogella, what is that email again?
President@fogella.org.
So if you didn't hear that, we have new boards, new members that we're going to be placing at the end of July. And those board members elect are Monica Henderson as president. Yay! Claudia Shiva, VP. Claudine. I say Claudia. Claudine Shiva, VP. Lauren Cole, secretary. And we also are going to have a couple of current board members also stay on, help with the process. So Kendra King will be staying on as treasurer. Yay! And Patrick McCormick staying on as CFO. Yay! Yes! Really need that. So that's awesome. Did I miss anybody? I think that's it. I think we're good. So
We'd like to congratulate you as the president.
Yes.
Yes.
My biggest fan. Thank you, Wendy. I have been asked to stay on possibly as an advisor. I may do that. That's still up in the air. But yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you, and sign up. Need your help fundraising. Woo. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Veronica out.